So hello guys, what's up and welcome back to Africa Folktale with Neze. If you're new here, you're hearing my voice for the first time, or if you've been watching without subscribing, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, give this video a big thumbs up, and drop all your reactions down in the comments section. Ehi was only 13 when she left her small village in Edo State for boarding school in Benin City. Bright-eyed and eager, she was determined to make her parents proud. Her father, a palm wine tapper, and her mother, a petty trader, had saved every naira they could to send their firstborn to one of the best schools in the region. The boarding school was a mix of excitement and fear. For a junior like Ehi, navigating the strict rules and avoiding senior students' routes required alliances. She found hers in Adesuwa, a confident and kind-hearted senior who quickly took her under her wing. Adesuwa became Ehi's school mother, shielding her from bullying and guiding her through the challenges of boarding school life. "You'll be fine, Ehi," Adesuwa would often say. "Just stick with me and no one will dare harm you." Ehi trusted her school mother completely, grateful for the protection and friendship that she offered. On this fateful night, one very chilly evening, Adesuwa woke Ehi from sleep. "Come with me," she whispered. "I need to show you something." "Where are we going?" Ehi asked, rubbing her eyes. "You'll see," Adesuwa replied, "but don't ask too many questions. Just trust me." Ehi hesitated but followed Adesuwa. They walked through the quiet dormitory and out to the back of the school's compound. Adesuwa led her to an old mango tree, its roots gnarled and its branches stretching out like skeletal arms. Around the base of the tree, a group of senior students stood in a circle, chanting softly. A small fire flickered at the center, and its light casting eerie shadows. "What is this, Adesuwa?" Ehi asked, fear creeping into her voice. "It's just a ceremony," Adesuwa said, with her tone calm. "It is for your protection. Boarding school can be dangerous, and this will ensure that no harm comes to you." Before Ehi could respond, Adesuwa pulled her into the circle. The seniors marked her forehead with a white chalk and began chanting. Ehi felt her head grow heavy, her surroundings blurring. She saw flashes of light and heard a deep, resonant voice echoing in her mind. "You are mine," the voice said. A tall, good-looking man, dressed in fine white robes, appeared in her vision, his eyes glowing like the embers. "From this day forward, you are my queen." Ehi tried to scream, but her voice wouldn't come. The man placed a glowing necklace around her neck and smiled. And then everything went dark. When Ehi woke up the next morning, she felt disoriented. The chalk marks were gone, but the memory of the man's voice lingered. Instinctively, she touched her neck, searching for the glowing chain that the man had placed around her in the dream. It wasn't there, and she let out a sigh of relief. However, as she approached the small mirror hanging by her bunk, her breath caught. There, faint but unmistakable, was a mark around her neck, as if the chain had been etched into her skin. She tried to dismiss it as a strange dream and an overreactive imagination, but things quickly began to change. Ehi began to have recurring dreams of this same man. In the visions, he would take her to an endless serene beach with soft golden sand that seemed to sparkle under the moonlight. The waves gently kissed the shore, and he would call her his queen, his voice deep and melodious. He showered her with golden gifts, necklaces, delicate anklets, and bracelets that seemed to hum with a strange energy. He would brush her hair with a comb that glittered like diamonds, his touch gentle. Before she woke, he would kiss her feet softly, whispering words that she couldn't fully understand but felt deeply. At first, it felt strange, unsettling even. She would wake confused, her heart racing, unsure of what to make of these vivid encounters. But as the dreams continued, her feelings began to shift. His tenderness and his devotion and the way he made her feel special began to fill a void in her heart. She started to look forward to the nights, to the moments that they would spend together on that mystical beach. The dreams became her escape, a place where she felt seen and cherished. "Never betray me," he would say, his glowing eyes locking with hers. "You are mine, and mine alone." Ehi began to look forward to the nights when she would see him again. Although a part of her questioned this strange connection, another part of her welcomed it, yearning for the warmth and the affection that he offered. She found herself growing deeply attached to the man in her dreams. When Ehi finished secondary school and gained admission into university, she had blossomed into a stunning young woman. Her beauty turned heads wherever she went, and she quickly became the center of attention amongst her peers. Many men, drawn to her striking looks and calm demeanor, eagerly sought her attention, hoping to win her heart. However, Ehi found herself strangely detached, unable to feel any genuine attraction to them. By this time, her dreams of the man in white robes had evolved into a deeper and more consuming reality. He had become her spiritual husband, and in their dream world, they shared a life together. Over the years, Ehi had borne him 3 children, beautiful light-skinned boys who bore his regal features and captivating charisma. She loved them deeply, and in her dreams, they played together on sunlit beaches or in the grand palaces adorned with gold. The connection she felt to this man and their ethereal family overshadowed anything in her waking life. No boy in the university could compare to the man in her dreams. None possessed his beauty, his wealth, or his magnetic charm. He was everything that she could imagine in a partner. And she began to view the advances of her male peers as trivial. But then, right in her final year, Osas entered her life. Osas, the course rep, was intelligent, responsible, and always ready to lend a helping hand. He was known for his patience and resourcefulness, traits that made him popular amongst his classmates. When Ehi struggled with a particularly complex assignment, it was Osas who stepped in to assist her, patiently guiding her through. And after late night study sessions, Osas would walk her back to the hostel, sharing light-hearted conversations and campus jokes that made Ehi smile. Osas was clearly smitten by Ehi, and it showed in the small things that he did. Carrying her books, saving her a seat in lectures, and checking in on her during busy weeks. Ehi couldn't help but feel a growing sense of comfort and warmth around him. And for the first time in her life, she began to wonder what it would really be like to let someone from the waking world into her heart. On one fateful evening, after a long study session in the library, Osas offered to walk Ehi back to the hostel as he often did. When they arrived at the gates of the hostel, Osas lingered for a moment, his smile warm. "Good night, Ehi. See you tomorrow," he said. Ehi smiled back, her heart unexpectedly light. As Osas turned to leave and cross the road, a motorcycle sped around the corner. It was too sudden, too fast for him to react. The impact sent him crashing to the ground, and in an instant, Osas lay motionless. Screams erupted as students gathered around, but Ehi stood frozen. The world saw it as a tragic accident, but deep down, Ehi knew the truth. This wasn't an accident. It was something else. That night, as she lay in her bed, her tears soaking her pillow, she drifted into a sleep, desperate for answers. In her dream, she found herself back in the gilded palace of her spiritual husband. The man stood before her, his piercing eyes watching her every move. "What have you done?" she cried, her voice breaking. "I warned you," he said, his deep voice echoing in the vast hall. "You are mine and mine alone." Ehi fell to her knees, sobbing uncontrollably. She pleaded, "I just wanted to live a normal life." "You have a life," he replied coldly, "and it is with me." Until Ehi graduated, she kept her distance from everyone, refusing to let any man get close to her, terrified of what might happen if she did. Yet, beneath her sadness, a spark of defiance began to grow. A quiet determination that one day she would find a way to break free. He graduated with honors and secured a high-paying job at a manufacturing firm in Delta State. She had beauty, intelligence, and financial independence. But one thing was missing. By the time she turned 37, her parents' concern had grown into quiet desperation. "Ehi," her mother would say gently during her visits, "you have done well for yourself, my child. But a woman is not complete without the family. When will you bring a man home?" Ehi would smile and change the subject, but the pressure weighed heavily on her. Determined to break free from the invisible chains that bound her, she decided to try again. Her first serious relationship was with Eromosele, a very wealthy entrepreneur. Ehi allowed herself to hope, and for a while, things seemed promising. Eromosele showered her with attention and gifts, and they began making wedding arrangements. But suddenly, his fortune began to dwindle. Deals that once brought in millions fell through, and his businesses started failing inexplicably. He grew frustrated and distant, and before long, their relationship came to a dead end. Ehi tried again. This time she met Omo, a charming banker who seemed like the perfect match. He was attentive and caring, and Ehi felt herself beginning to relax. But after a few months of courtship, Omo suddenly grew cold. He stopped calling and he ignored her messages and avoided her completely. Heartbroken and dejected, Ehi knew that it wasn't a coincidence. Her heartbreak deepened when the familiar figure of her spiritual husband appeared in her dreams. "You are mine," he declared. "No man will take you from me." Haunted and determined for freedom, Ehi knew that she could no longer avoid confronting the unseen force controlling her life. Ehi finally broke down and confided in her mother. Through tears, she revealed the haunting events that began at boarding school over 25 years ago, and the spiritual husband who had ruled her life ever since. Her mother, shocked but determined, wasted no time. She grabbed Ehi by the hand and took her to a powerful man of God, renowned for his ability to confront dark forces. The deliverance session was intense, and as the pastor prayed fervently, Ehi fell to the ground, convulsing as though an invisible force was dragging her away. It felt as if two opposing energies were battling over her soul. She screamed, her body trembling violently. Hours passed in a relentless spiritual warfare. The room was thick with tension as the pastor continued to pray with unyielding determination. Suddenly, a chill swept through the room and Ehi's body went limp. She felt an unusual lightness, a peace that she hadn't known in decades. Reaching for her neck, she realized that the mark that had been there since that fateful night was gone. She bursted into tears, overwhelmed by the freedom that she thought she would never experience. At the age of 41, his life took a new turn. She met Esosa, a kind and God-fearing man who was completely different from anyone in a way that she could not explain. Unlike her previous experiences, there were no lingering fears, setbacks, or heartbreaks. Their love blossomed naturally, untainted by the shadows of her past. 7 months later, they married in a joyful ceremony surrounded by friends and family, and soon after, Ehi and Esosa were blessed with 2 beautiful children, a son and a daughter. Finally free from the chains that had bound her for so long, Ehi lived a life of peace, love, and fulfillment. Her story serving as a powerful reminder of the triumph of light over darkness. Dear story lovers, this story has taught me that sometimes the affairs in the spiritual controls those in the physical, but darkness will always yield to light. What has this story taught you? Do drop all of those down in the comment section. So my dear story lovers, Thank you so much for listening in on today's story. If you're new here, you're hearing our voice for the first time, or if you've been watching without subscribing, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, give this video a big thumbs up, drop all your comments down in the comment section, and stay glued, for we have so much more coming your way. It's Africa Folktale with Neze, and I'll see you guys in our next one. For now, bye.